Uh, my topic today is going to be slightly far away from my main focus, but is this interest uh, came when I was studying in applied statistics with Dr. Mahendran. He introduced me the EDA, and I got A for this course. Okay, and before I proceed with my next slide, I just want to know that anybody here know where's Jinyang? Anybody know where's the Jinyang located? Yeah, it's near between Kuala Ketil and Gurun. That's Jinyang. It's a very isolated place, and I think not many Malaysians pass that way. They might use near to the Kolam area, but Jinyang is the data that I'm going to use. And the data contain about 30 years, and this is the continuation from my presentation for UKM. At UKM I present the phase 1. Now here I'm going to present you phase 2 of my presentation. And I'm going to analyze the secondary data taken from Jinwi and Shitan in 2012. And this data contain the day is from January 70 to December 2011. It's very long. It's around 30 years data, and this is very raw data that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use a very classical, but it's a genius way to do. And I don't think so. You need a computer to do this. Actually, you can do manually, but because the data is more than 30 years, I use a computer to make it more faster, the program wise. And this is very genius, and the work is by the Tukis, 1977. And not many people, when they talk about EDA, they use other things, more sophisticated things to explore their data. But today, I'm going to use a very basic method to get some information from the data. I think since yesterday and today, I think this is the simplest method you will see. You don't need to know calculus, you don't need to know many things, no multivariate analysis, nothing, no indices, nothing. It's a very simple method that I'm going to introduce to you today. Okay? And this is my raw data, the Jinyang data from 1970. I just put a blue line for 2003 and 2004 because we might have some information about this data. Because other data seems okay, except for 2003 and 2004, we have 0, 0, 0, 0, more zeros in that year. I'm not sure whether this is a missing data. JV is here. Is it? Oh, yeah. Okay, it means this is raw. It's no rain at that place. Oh, you don't know. Okay. We believe that JPS also give us a true data, and there's no rainy at that particular time. Others is okay. There's a monthly rain, and this is the data that we have. I'm going to manipulate. I'm going to explore this data using the easiest way. You might want to use the same thing as I'm going to use. And I'm using the contour plot because Tukey, Vanderman, and Dr. Mahendran's paper, they didn't use contour plot. I'm going to introduce you to contour plot. What I'm doing here, I just implement the existing method, the contour plot, and I plot all the data. It seems that around October, November, there is a wet season, but it's not clear. But you can see that the blue color here. This is the raw data. What the raw data show to us, and some part it's not really heavy, but around April, May, they have some. But after that, it's going to be dry, and the early years also dry, and at the end also dry. We have around November and October is a wet seasons. You don't need to use a sophisticated method to show it's season or not. But I'm going to show you the finding that we're going to have later on. Okay, this is the data that we have. It's not normal. The data is not normal. It's skewed to the right. And many classical statistics cannot use. My modeling also, see here the modeling part. It should have a short tail also. It's not heavy tail. Because we are using the monthly data. We're not using the maximum data. We didn't use minimum data. It's quite hard to use a classical statistic to analyze this data. The assumption, you might want to do some transformation here, but I don't want to do that. I just want to use the data as is it, and I want to the data speak for themselves, what the information going to be revealed. Okay, and this is the density of that data, Ginian data. We have 504 data, the monthly data from 70 to 2011. Here we have slightly, it's not really heavy tail, but it's not representing by many of the distribution that exist. Okay, this is a famous method by Tukey that used around the world. Many people, social science use box plot. It's a very famous by Tukey. Tukey set up the box plot, and nowadays everybody using Tukeys without refer to Tukeys. They just use box plot, and it's a norm nowadays. And we have many participants today using box plot without appreciate Prof. Tukey's introduce box plot. They just simply, this is the box plot. And you didn't know the original, those who introduced box plots. Those who introduced box plot is Professor Tukey in 1977. And many people using that without appreciate his work. No reference for Tukey's. But this is the first thing I do. I just plot the data by years using box plot. And you see that we have some outliers here and here. And from this also we can see that if the box plot show a very short interval, it's also going to show you some dry season actually. We're going to reveal this later on. If there is a span is very big, it means that we have wet seasons. Wet season. This is dry season, and we have some occurrence. That's maximum. This is very simple way. Using the exploratory data analysis, we can have some information, and this information sometimes is very important before you go for more advanced statistics. Many people forgotten. When you want to explore, when you want to analyze data, you need to explore your data like this one. The box plot, the scatter plot, everything. And not many of us doing this. When you get your raw data, you just simply go for inference, hypothesis, everything. Many advanced. You've forgotten about the basic thing. To explore your data and know your data very well. You see it's not really scattered around. It's a normal things along 70 2011, and some outliers there. And the first method that I want to show to you is running median 3. This method is very basic. What we do, if we have the data from x1 up to xn, what we do, we just take the median from 3 observations. And here I didn't consider the Henning, how we deal with endpoint, because we only have 2 endpoints in 1st January 1970 and December 2011. It's not really sensitive at the end, because it's only 2 points. We have a very long point, 502 data, exclusively the first one at the end one. And this is the method that we are using. For the first data, why we want to do this? Because we want to look for the backbone of the data. We have 2 types, deterministic and stochastic. This is some sort of deterministic part of the data. We try to look for the backbone. We try to remove as many errors or random things inside the data. How we do it? We just take for the first running median 3. For the first one is similar to the data, x1. But for others, 2 up to 4 or 502, we take the median of 3 sequences of that data. From 2 up to n minus 1. And for the last data, we use the n data. It's not very critical for this part because we have very long data. We see what happened for the first one. For that data, see that from this one, we try to get the backbone of the data. This is median 3. We run by median 3. We try to get, if you use a regression, you might have other results. You might want to use smoothing regressions, penalized likelihood, everything. You might get another result. But this less assumption, nothing else. We just dealing with medians. Now we go to running median 5. What we do now, instead of 3, we take 5. It's much easier. Actually, I can put 4, take 4 observation, take median. But if I take 4, it means that the value is not from that observation. The value might come out from the average of 2 rows. I'm going to show you the result by Dr. Mahendran. He introduced that method. For the 5, running median 5, what I do, for the first and the second value of running median 5, I use the value from running median 3. But the rest, I take the median from the 5 sequences of that data. And I get this value. And this is the result. It's smoothing the data. We're going to get the backbone of the data. Later on, see what happening. We managed to get one of the data. And this can carry out many methods in statistics. I do this for penalized likelihood, but it's more complicated case. You need to have the observed information metric, you need to have the smoothing parameters. But in this case, we just take the median, And this is another data for the running median 9. And you cannot see any difference here, but I'm going to show you the contour plot that can show you something, some information thing. This is the first one by the running median 3, the contour plot. See what happened? Compared to the raw data, it's more obvious that around the month of October is wet season. It's a wet season. Okay. Now, median 5, okay. Median 7 and median 9. You see that in this median 9, they show you the dry season, the dry years of that. You see that is from this part, after a few years, they have another dry season, and we can do some forecasting actually for this part. Now we have more data. This is around 85, and around 2004 is a dry season for Malaysia for this Jinyang place. We can do that. This is the thing by observations. This is for using running median 9. Very simple thing to do. Very simple thing to do. Okay. Now I go to other method by Tukis. Tukis use median 3, but he repeat that again, and he do some splitting. I don't want to show you because this is existing one. 1977, he introduced this, and he always use the exhibits. And he play around with this method, 3R, 3RR, 3S, then something like that. Now, this is the result by using Tukis, one of the Tukis method. And I also want to show you the Mahendran's method. The Mahendran method use even numbers instead of odd numbers. 4, they take the median from the 4 values, and actually he didn't take the value from the raw data. He took the average from 2 value of raw data. After that, he took 2, running median 2. After that, he go to 5, the first odd. After that, 3, and after that, Hanning. Hanning is mean that he just repair here and repair here. But in my case of very long data, no influence. It should be the same results. And this is what he get. I just use the median 7, median 9 also I still can get. Their method is very complicated. The Tukis method also very complicated. Mahendra method also very complicated. I just use median and the mean. Huh? Okay, and also the Mahendra method also can show you around 84 and also 2004 is a dry season, dry years for Jinyang Planet Station. Similar method, but mine is more easier, more simpler. Use just one value of statistic. Now, I just want to go beyond that because you see that in Mahendra and Tukis, they use, especially Mahendra 4, they use the mean. Now I try to use whether we can use mean or not instead of median. Huh? When I try the running mean for 3, what I do is similar. Instead of taking the mean, I take the median. Instead of median, I take the mean. This means that x1, x2, x3, I take the mean of that. But be careful, the mean is influenced by the outliers. You see the early stage, I show you there's a few outliers occurs after 1990 something. Is it influenced or not, the outliers? Or we can remove the outliers. Okay, this is running median 3, quite similar to the median, the mean. This is running mean 5. You see that what I'm doing, I have a similar method. Instead of median, I take the mean. Very simple method. Very easy. You can use calculator for this, no problem. But I do the programming much faster because the data is 500 somethings. What I do, this is what I get for running median by mean 5. This is by mean 7. You observe something that using mean, the smoothing much faster than median because it's still average. It's much faster than median. But slower compared to Tukis method and Mahendra methods. Okay, now by mean 9. See, we get the deterministic part of the data. We remove everything. This is the most important part. And if you do some more, what happens? It's going to be a straight line. Be careful because you need to have other tools. And what the tools I'm going to use, I'm using contour until we get some information, then we stop. There's no criteria for stopping here. You can do as long you want. If you do more further up, 11, then it's going to be over smooth maybe. It's going to be a straight line. Believe me. Okay, and this is the contour by running by mean 5. See? Immediately on 5 is obvious we have some trend. It's similar result. You stay around 1984 and 2004, the dry years for Jinyang Clinic Station. Okay, and this is 7. It's more clear part for me. Much faster than median. Median we go to 9, then we see very obvious. Now 7 you already obvious see. Okay, and this is more obvious by mean 9. Only 2 page. Actually, if you can have, you see that 70 they have a green here, red here. After that, a few years they jump here, another here, they jump here. The dry season for that year for Clinic Jinyang. Maybe of course we can by 3 value here. Maybe we can have a longer time. Then we can do some sequence and predictions. That's all. I think in 2050 it's not going to be dry yet. if logically based on the 2 observations. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to show you the bar plots. This is for the January and February. Similar. This is another method introduced by Tukis and some exploratory data analysis. See the first month, and we just put the another month on top of the first month. That's all. Very simple concept. And we do that. This is January to March, January to April, and up to December. It's same results. You see that in 2004, and we have around 83 here. Similar case. You can explore this data using bar plots. Histogram, bar plot, box plot, simple thing, no headache to think about. Okay, and now, and this is the I just plot the data according to the months now. You see that January on the January is dry. After that, it's just dot plots using that. You can see that this one up to that is replacing the box, but it's the same result actually. Okay. Now this is using two keys. I'm using two keys. From this raw data, you become like this. Just squeeze the data itself and remove all the things not necessary. And this is the monthly rain for Turkey that I take the average. And you see that this is more wide span for October, November, December. But this is dry, it should be early season. And people are asking why this is not tally to this part. Actually, we do it for 1970, January up to December 2011. This is the result show. January, February is dry, but October, September, November, December is dry. It's wet. Very simple thing to do. And we can have some information about that. We take the mean, we take the average. Okay. This is two key method. And now I just want to, I didn't put the theoretical for this one, resistor line. The resistor line is alternative to regression. And what we do, we just have some method to draw this. And you see that about two line is beyond zero because it's impossible to have zero minus monthly rain. And this I consider
you have 3 billion more.
Okay, and outliers for that. This one and this one. When I check again, this line is 2003 and 2004 because we have many zeros. 2003 we have many zeros, and 2004 also many zeros. This is the outliers for the data. I'm just using the resistance line, and others. Okay, this 2003, 2004, and I also do for the overall ranks. I rank everything. You see what happened. Annually ranks. And this is some coded method using. We have box plot. We know all this. And I do the coding for that. And I also check for the coding. And the similar result appears. And this is the code one. You see that the heavy rain occurs on this side, and this is bar plot for the coded, similar to the raw actually, the coded for the data. And this is the summary that I can share with you. Although EDA is very simple but can give some information, and we look for it. Thank you for Dr. Menda. We managed to find many things very interesting about EDA. This is one of the methods. We have many methods available, and we think we have many room to improve. Very simple thing to do. Okay, thank you very much. Sharing with me a very simple thing.
Okay, thank you for very nice presentation. Do you remember ancient Chinese proverb saying that a picture worth more than 1,000 words? That is what Dr. Bakri tried to do here. And don't forget also what Pythagoras said, everything is number. So in statistics, when we are doing thesis, please don't forget number and picture to see. Okay? Without delay, any questions? Dr. Mahendra, please, Dr. Mahendra. Okay? Oh, okay. Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I got a question for you. What the type of the software that has been used to generate the contours? Thanks.
Again?
what type or what types of the software that has been used to generate the contours in the figures?
Actually,
Contours.
you can use any program. I'm using R, but it's not limited to R. You can ask if you know the program, no problem. I create myself
Okay.
from
What
scratch.
by
I'm
scratch?
using R,
R.
but you can use with others, Fortran, C++, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Please, Dr. Mahendra.
I don't have a question actually,
Yeah.
I just have some comments. Something about exploratory data analysis, especially for those who are beginning to work on data analysis and all that. It's very simple techniques, as what Dr. Bakri has said. Now, traditional statistical analysis has got lots of assumptions in it. That's number one, right? For instance, if you take regression, you've got to ensure, all right, and if you want to do some inference and all that, you've got to ensure that it's normally distributed, observations are independent, and quite heavy to do, right? So there is an alternative way of doing that, that is to fit resistant lines, which does not require such information, because when you handle real data, all these beautiful assumptions that you get, and all those statistics that they teach you, examples nicely in university and all that, very well structured Mickey Mouse examples they give you, right? But when you handle real data set, the assumptions get violated left, right, and center. Okay, that's number one. So you can think of resistant line as an alternative to regression. Now, analysis of variance you study in traditional statistics courses, very heavily dependent, right? Your observations, right? They will each several treatments, all of them must have normally distributed, right? Even to get one distinct to normally distribute is tough already. You got several classes, all of them must be normally distributed, all of them must have equal variances, right? So there's an alternative to ANOVA. You can do what is known as median polish. Right? It's a very simple technique, and the results will be this. So I think Tukey's book was very hard to read, 1977. A very hard book to read. But I've written a book called Exploratory Data. I'm not promoting my book, right? Now, if you can just look at that book, it's for self-study, right? Anybody can just read the book, even Form 6 students, Form 5 students, right? And try and have a play with it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mahendra, for your comment. And I give you a challenge when you are talking about median. Median in univariate case. Median meaning that is 0.50% here, 50% here, right? And when you have bivariate, what is your median? yeah. When you are working with bivariate, what is your median? Please think about that. And this is a very difficult problem. And what is the median in multivariate case? So that's why around the same period, Tukey in US, Tukey in US introduced EDA. At almost the same time, Ben Zachary in France introduced EMDA, Exploratory Multivariate Data Analysis. Okay, thank you. Please give a very big hand to